Welcome back. Now, let's discuss about the problems of tribal women and children. This topic should be understood on a very sensitive note and should bring about a sense of compassion in young students like you all. Today, every second tribal child is chronically undernourished. Loss of land and livelihood is the major cause of undernourishment. Financial and social insecurity leads to the problem of early marriages and early pregnancy. 70% of tribal women become mother before they are 20. 47% of these mothers are undernourished. They also do not have knowledge about menstrual hygiene. Poor sanitation and lack of public service makes the tribal nutritional crisis even more worse. The level of malnutrition is high among children whose parents migrate in search of livelihood. Inherent malnourishment in mother, lack of food and nutritional security, feeding and dietary practices and illness are some of the reasons identified for high level of malnutrition. Think about it. If the mother is not healthy, how can you make sure that the child is healthy? A child is totally dependent on his or her mother for his nourishment during the early ages. In case of tribal people, additional factors like discrimination, geographical isolation, limited access to public services, and cultural differences makes it even more worse. The government needs to play a more proactive role and form of policy for coordinated action across ministries such as tribal affairs, women and child development, agriculture, rural development, drinking water and sanitation, and human resource development for education, to inform and strengthen their efforts towards tackling tribal undernutrition. If these ministries and offices work together in sync with each other, I think you all must agree that we can make this country a better place for tribal people. Barriers in accessing healthcare services and barriers in accessing information about healthcare practices is also prevalent in the tribal areas. Traditional and social cultural beliefs, norms, practices, superstitions, combined with lack of understanding of these practices by modern science, make tribal communities reluctant to seek formal care. The education level of tribal communities is also very low, with majority below primary level. Low enrollment and high dropout rates have been attributed to multiple interrelated variables have been attributed to multiple interrelated variables. These are affected by infrastructure, poverty, socio-economic factors, cultural and family influences, and individual factors. Problems related to infrastructure include inadequate number of schools, inaccessibility to schools that do exist, lack of study material available in students' native language, and inadequate teacher support. I must say, language barrier in educational material is very big. Their language is very different from ours, and we need to bridge a gap between that. Non-tribal teachers may contribute to the dropout rates, as studies have shown that mother tongue language should be the medium of instructions in early childhood. Long-standing unemployment and underemployment and related family issues also contribute to ongoing low literacy and dropout rates. Tribal occupation include low-paying manual labor, agricultural and seasonal work. Many adults must leave their settlements for 6 months or more in search of employment. The children either go with them or are left behind with relatives. With parents absent in order to pursue employment, young girls are often left to take care of their young siblings. and thus are unable to attend schools. Parental alcoholism is another long-standing influence on literacy and dropout rates. So we briefly discussed about the problems of tribes in India. Further, in the next session, we will talk about policies, programs, and governance in accordance with tribal. Thank you and see you soon. Happy learning.